Get informed. Oh, current events. Okay. Get informed with Andy Rocco. This is Andy Rocco. This is Get Informed Radio, UCB Radio, Sirius XM 406. I don't follow politics, or I'm not very good at following politics, or I just don't like reading and finding out things. So I ask my funny, news-friendly, savvy friends to come on the show, these real nerds, to come on the show and tell me what's going on. And these guys are really funny, and I'm very excited they're here, and they're my good friends. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Caitlin Bitzegaio.
Hello, hello.
And Mr. John Robert Wilson, Jr.
Greetings, Andy. Greetings, everyone listening.
Yay!
Hooray!
So, this is a current events talk show.
Okay, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. And we're going to talk about current events. Today, we're burying an old mayor.
Oh, yeah.
Burying Ed Koch. And, oh, yes, sorry, hold on. I'm sorry. I completely forgot.
We just jumped right into the show.
I wanted to
Thank you.
I felt like, but also my co-host and fact-checker for the show and my beautiful, wonderful, talented, extraordinary girlfriend, Lisa Herring.
Thank you for compensating.
Yeah,
Yes.
flawless
Yeah.
recovery.
Yep.
It's hard. He's mourning Ed Koch pretty hard.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Any mayor that appears in any Muppet movie is A-OK
You know,
with me.
My first experience with Ed Koch was when they portrayed him on The Critic. You ever watch that show, The Critic?
Yeah.
How am I doing? How am I doing?
Yeah,
How am I
me too.
doing?
I feel like he was in a ton of television shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he wasn't on Night Court, it feels like he was.
Oh, wasn't he? Wasn't he on the
He
People's
was,
Court?
Yeah, he was on he was the judge on the
Right.
People's Court.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking
And
of, but I prefer to think he was on Night Court.
Yeah. Okay.
And Judge Judy's husband was
Yes.
on the People's Court.
Yes, but Ed Koch was. I don't know how. I kind of like Wapner a little bit more because he was just think he took it so seriously, and I think all the other guys are just such a.
Make it pop. Make
Yeah,
it
they-
pizzazz.
Yeah, they were showboating.
Make good TV. You know?
Yeah.
I went to a taping of People's Court.
Which
and it was
one?
very insane. Judge Milian, I believe.
Marilyn
her name was.
Milian, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
She's still
she?
doing it now. She's the one that's doing it still.
Oh,
Real
okay.
weird. You should go. It's free, and there's fans that come from all over the country. And
They film in California, right?
No, and here in New York.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not too far from where we're sitting. And she does Q&A before you get started, and the fans really know a lot about the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And she has met Judge Wapner, if that's what you were going to ask, and he's very nice.
Well, I imagine he is. I like him because he's kind of more. He's such more staunch and no nonsense, and anything Rain Man likes.
Oh, and the best part is she had to film pickups from the last cases, so the camera would just be on her pointing at people that weren't there about cases that were never presented to us.
Did you guys hear his last word that the press released? They did this interview with him a few years back, and they were holding on to it to wait for him to die.
Ed Koch?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was his last word?
He was just more or less just "fuck you, Cuomo." That was his last words.
Was Ed Koch conservative or liberal, or I have no idea?
He was a Democrat, but the weird thing is he crossed the Democratic line. Mm-hmm. He endorsed Giuliani, and he also endorsed George W. Bush.
Okay.
And it was kind of weird because he was a very he was supposedly one of the things they said about him that is he was a liberal that was sane. Was liberal with sanity was how they called him, or he referred to himself. And that's what his thing was, but obviously he's a little insane if he endorsed George W. Bush.
Right.
A lot of people did back then, though. Give him credit.
I guess so. I guess it's just you gotta. I guess I think we've discussed this on the show so many times. When you're in politics, you have to be kind of down the middle and
You got to realize how the system works, and
Yeah.
to succeed, you kind of have to play to the system, even if you don't like it. That's
But
what
at
we
the
have.
point where he was endorsing George W. Bush, he wasn't
Right.
even trying to do anything, was he? I mean, that's just what he really thinks is a
Yeah,
good
I
idea.
guess so. But it's wild. That was a weird thing. He was also. He was possibly gay.
He was a closeted gay man.
That's what they said.
Well, here's
He
his answer,
definitely
right?
was.
He definitely was gay because, excuse me, I just had the flu, so I'm getting over it. He said, "It's none of your blank business."
That's great. I think that's obviously when people say that means they're gay.
It
right?
means that he was gay in the 50s, right?
Sure.
In the 70s, in the
Probably.
60s, he was
Probably
gay.
even gay before that.
Right,
Yeah.
he probably was
Any
gay.
of the time he was alive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that was but I thought that was cool. I'm not it made me think of all the I looked up the first Bachelor president,
Ah.
and it was James Buchanan.
He was definitely gay.
James Buchanan was gay. You think?
Probably.
He was.
That's where the first lady comes from, because he wasn't married, so there was a first lady that wasn't his wife, and they had to think of a name for her, so they were like, the first lady.
So there was a first.
Who was his first lady?
Who was
what
the
would
first
she- what
fag
did she
hag?
do?
Is the question
She
essentially.
hosted,
Yeah.
like she did lady things that they did in the White House then.
Sure.
Well, that's what we have Caitlin on the show. She brought food.
Yeah.
and
Cookies.
Yeah, and she brought my
tea.
clean laundry with her too. Thank you so much, Caitlin.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. I'm
and
sorry
she
about
did.
that.
She after this, she's going to do a porn.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what women are here for.
That's
right?
what they do.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
I like how you
It's
refer to
fine.
it. She's gonna do a
I'm
porn.
gonna do a porn. Then I'm gonna watch reality television.
by the way, when I say do a porn, I don't mean she's going to be in it. That would be degrading. She's actually going to direct and,
I mean, yeah.
and edit it.
Yeah. That's up to you listeners. You thought the wrong thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're sexist.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you listeners who came here for hardcore porn, get out, because we're just filming it and then directing it, and writing it, and thinking about it, and planning it out, but no real porn.
Yeah. If anything, it's going to be with pictures that we cut out of magazines.
It's a collage.
It's a
More
collage.
than a
Yeah.
porn.
Yeah.
Oh, miss you, Ed Koch.
Miss
Yeah.
you.
Yes. Ed
Much
Koch
love
will-
and respect. Did it go Ed Koch, Giuliani, and then Bloomberg? Is there anyone else in there?
Dinkins.
Oh,
Dinkins was in there.
Dinkins, I don't know of.
Yeah.
What a name.
Yeah.
His first name started with a D too, didn't it?
Yeah. I think-
David Dinkins.
Wait,
Dutch Dinkins.
what is the? So wait, you said it was Koch and then
I don't know.
Dinkins, because it was I think Jewish and then black and then
I'm glad that you break things down that way.
Mayor.
Jew, black, and now Jew again.
Mayor Jewy, Mayor Blackie, Mayor Italian-y.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good. I mean, no, it's sad that he died. I mean,
But he was old. I mean,
yeah, he was trip eights, 88.
Oh my
eights. He was trippy eights, triple eights.
he was 880
This show
years
is sponsored
old.
by Dial 8 on the 8s car service. $40 from LaGuardia to Manhattan.
No, but I feel like he was a pretty beloved mayor. I've never heard any bad stuff about him, like anything that he did that, like, I don't know. There's like some politicians, like when they die, like there's like this kind of thing they did, and it kind of like we're like living in the resonance of it, kind of.
What did he do?
I don't
positive?
know. I think he was just charismatic and likable. I think most of the time. I remember when I was starting to come to New York and Giuliani was mayor, it seemed like nobody liked him.
Right.
And I don't think anyone likes Bloomberg very. Any New Yorkers don't seem to be like, or they seem to take him or leave him for the
Yeah.
most part. But like Koch, I think was like just a mayor that everyone kind of like at least they just thought he was funny or like interesting enough that people are like, oh, okay, here's our wacky mayor. He sounds like fun. Versus being like, that fucking dick. He wants to shut down dance clubs, which I think was a thing.
He did.
What?
My dance clubs.
No, Giuliani, I think at one point was trying to outlaw like a lot of cabaret and dance club stuff.
Oh, like gentlemen's clubs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or, yeah, and like, well, no, just like the gentlemen's clubs. I think just like people who wanted to go out and have like go rave or I don't know,
Go rave.
go rave.
Go
It looks
rave and
like-
do a porn.
Looks like Koch just kind of started the gentrification
Oh yeah.
of New York.
Oh,
Wow. Good work.
okay. So
He did it.
maybe he did not envision seeing all the hipsters that he betted on. He was just,
Maybe he did.
maybe it was
He was a gay dude.
yeah, he was a.
Probably loved skinny jeans.
He,
Oh man, he loved skinny jeans.
How am I doing in my skinny jeans?
I'm gay.
I'm gay. I think I don't know. I don't have anything negative to say, and I think we've exhausted everything we could say about him being people of this age range.
Right.
Who kind of don't know.
I think he
Yeah.
was mayor during, like, he became mayor right as I was born. I think he was mayor in 77, Lisa?
73? No, that's the U.S. House of Representatives.
Okay.
It was 78 to 89, so no.
Oh, okay. Well,
Pretty 80s.
Pretty 80s, and also, but
Was he in Ghostbusters?
no,
I don't think so.
He's in the Muppet. He's in the First Wives Club,
Oh, great.
and
Love
he's
it.
in the Muppets Take Manhattan. He was a food critic. I never heard about that. He was also a congressman too, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's bizarre.
Or yeah, he was in the House of Representatives.
Yeah. All right. Also, so that was this.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Ed Koch. We'll miss you. I never met you. I imagine you're a good guy. So the other thing is, I literally don't know anything about this because I never know anything about this. But the Super Bowl was last
Hey,
night.
Super
Dun,
Bowl.
dun, dun, dun. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun.
Now there's
Dun, dun, dun.
oh god, that big robotic football player.
Cletus. It's me, Cletus, the robotic football player with a Twitter handle.
That like does the dancing.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, Cletus. Thank you. I didn't. Who was the teams?
The Baltimore Ravens and the San
San
Francisco 49ers.
So is this a good clash? Is this
It
like
was a good game.
It was a good game. You know, it was an unexpected game, right? 4 weeks ago, or however many weeks ago when the playoffs started, 0 experts picked the Ravens to make it all the way to the Super Bowl and win.
Right.
What?
I've never heard very much of the Ravens.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this was a team.
They were
really.
they're the only team to be named after poetry as well.
Oh, like Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes.
Wow, is that where he was from or something? Or?
Baltimore, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
He did hang out here in New York, though, but he
Spooky.
was from Baltimore.
Spooky.
Spooky Baltimore.
I would rather there be the Baltimore Wires. Like they
What?
based it on the Wires.
TV show.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna take your
What would
opinion
that-
into account. Frankly,
Why not?
You would want a scrawly little wire on the side of your helmet rather than like an animal or something?
No, but the Wire is more like
just
No.
the cast of the Wire should be
Yeah,
on the side
just
of their
the
helmet.
cast. The
Cast of
Wire.
the wire.
Bell.
Idris Elba shows
Yeah.
up at the sidelines.
But
Anyway, it was a close game, and it was the two games. It was
what
like
was this? The final score was 34.
34-31?
31, yeah.
yeah, 34-31 barely. The after there was a blackout in the middle of the game, right? An unprecedented blackout.
Yeah,
For
the
34 minutes.
Superdome.
Right. And after the blackout, the 49ers really rallied and started to really score. They were playing basically like the Ravens had played in the first half. But then, time ran out. There was a couple calls that Harbaugh wish he would have gotten a call on that were
Get
towards
this,
the end of the
Andy.
game.
Wait, who's
Get this,
Harbaugh?
Andy. Yeah,
Both
there's
of them.
brothers.
There's two. Right. There's
The
another
head
element to
coaches
this.
were brothers of each other,
Right. Both coaches were brothers.
to
The
each
coaches,
other,
right.
not just a random
Yeah,
people.
Wait,
Jim
hold on,
Harbaugh.
wait,
and
wait.
What's the other?
Jim and John Harbaugh.
Jim and John Harbaugh.
Wait, hold on. Wait, just to clear this up, because I don't know at all. Jim Harbaugh is the coach of the Ravens.
The 49ers.
And then
John
was the coach.
of the Ravens.
That's
is the coach.
amazing.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
That's
And it kept on panning to their parents during the middle of the game. And it was so funny because they would cheer during the 49ers drives, but they wouldn't during the Ravens drives.
What the fuck?
So you could tell they were playing favorites.
That is so fucking messed up.
They didn't know they were on TV, apparently, or the most watched TV in the world.
But the
They
49
also
oh, yeah.
look exactly alike. So when
Yeah.
it would go back and forth, it was like only the logo on the hat would change, is how you knew. I mean, they look exactly the same.
They looked like Milhouse's parents.
Yeah, and I wish you could take a picture of this because the Harbaughs, whenever they're at a press conference or something like that, they have this weird, confused look on their face where they raise their upper lip, and show their teeth. It's just like it's constant anger, confusion face.
Or the Napoleon Dynamite face.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It was so stressful though that they were brothers. I kind of started crying when the one had to go up to the other to shake
you
his
see
hand
that?
because it was just
heartbreaking.
so rough.
You could
It
tell
was
they
so
were
rough.
Jim was getting
It was so
ripped up
quick.
inside.
I have to admit, I feel really bad that I missed this one. This one actually
It
good
was
one.
pretty good.
It's good.
It was pretty good. The
I-
blackout was real weird and
Top 10,
scary
huh?
and spooky.
Top
Did
10?
the blackout do anything to the game to make it work in one team's favor over
Yes.
the other?
Yes, because it
did?
was 28-6
Yeah, something
in
like that.
favor of the Ravens when the blackout happened, and then after the blackout, the 49ers scored like 3 touchdowns.
Really?
immediately.
So did the game stop?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
for
wait.
34
There were
minutes.
like floodlights on, so you could. It wasn't pitch black in there, but it wasn't really
Wow,
bright enough.
That's crazy. And but if the blackout didn't happen, do you think the Ravens would have won? In your
Yeah.
opinion? Yeah.
They did win.
They did win.
Oh, sorry.
The 49ers came back, but they didn't win.
Oh, okay.
Do you think
really
they
do live
won
up to the mo-
because it was black? and they're the Ravens.
Oh.
And they're from Baltimore. And they're from Baltimore. Lisa, just say it.
Yeah.
And they're from Baltimore.
Black people.
And they like black people?
Yeah.
Because that's where all black people are located, apparently?
Most of them.
100%.
Anyway, there's already controversy being stirred up about this game.
Why is that?
Frank Gore, one of the main runners for the 49ers, already says, like, yeah, we had the better team out there. He's already gone on the radio saying this. We have the better team out there. We should have won. It was just a happening of circumstances here and there. A little play there, a little play there. And we would have won, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
We would have won, but we didn't.
But we didn't. So, yeah. Sorry. You know what, though? There's a lot of I know you don't know this, but there's a lot of strip clubs in New Orleans, right?
Sure.
You have, and it runs the gamut too. You have low-level strip clubs, and you
Sure.
have like super high-level premium strip clubs, right? Like the Hustler Club.
Beyonce.
Yeah, it's Bay once, Bay twice.
It's
You have the
Beyonce
Hustler Club.
and all of Destiny's Child.
They looked great, by the way, last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's say
Beyonce's
something about
the
that for a
fattest
second.
person in Destiny's Child. They are a shockingly fit group of people.
Yeah. Anyway,
Was Beyonce the halftime show?
Yes,
Yes.
and then there was a surprise guest, even though it sort of already been leaked that the other members of Destiny's Child came out.
they came out of the floor.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
They had those hydraulic things under the floor, and they popped out. They almost lost their balance when they popped out. You could tell they're like,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
they just kind of like
was
and shuddered a
cartoony.
little bit.
Yeah.
What the rest of Destiny's Child, like, were they doing nothing prior to, like...
They're all certified public accountants.
Yeah, they're doing great, and it is tax season. So if you could
Right.
call Michelle Williams and Kelly Rowland,
Right.
Williams and Rowland, they're based out of Baltimore.
That's
certified CPAs.
is that why they were asked to do it, because they were Baltimore people, or no?
No,
Oh, okay. I didn't
just
know.
because they're in Destiny's Child.
Anyway.
they're not Baltimore people. They're just black.
Here's my theory. Swinging back around, a lot of the 49ers went to the Hustler Club the night before. And I bet they had you know, if you're a famous football player and you're going to the Super Bowl, I'm sure you're not going to have a hard time having a great time at the Hustler Club, right? So I have a feeling they partied too hard in New Orleans, and that's what did it.
Ah.
Yeah.
They would have won, but they didn't.
Big
Yeah.
Easy does it to you every time.
Yes.
I've
'cause-
spent 3 Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and I don't remember anything.
And you are, like, from there.
I'm from Louisiana, yeah.
Right. So, all right. You know what? I have to have John Robert come in whenever some big sports thing happens because I
just
feel
happens.
like we never cover any sports things, like, more or less.
I was disappointed by the number of UCB people I saw in commercials.
Yeah.
That was a big disappointment.
Yeah.
Usually every year you see a lot
I
of
only
them.
knew one person, and not from UCB.
Who was it?
It wasn't a UCB person. It was an actor I know from another shoot named Mark Ashworth. Plug. He was in the Doritos goat commercial.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How are the commercials, you feel?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
heard they were just, like, kind
They're
of meh.
fine.
Nothing to write home about this year.
I don't know.
Except the Fast and the Furious 6 trailer
Oh,
made everyone at
yes.
the party I was at burst out laughing.
Same here. And the Scientology commercial.
Oh, I didn't see that.
There was
a
a
commercial for Scientology on the
Yes.
Super Bowl?
Remember the I'm a Mormon commercials, that campaign?
Yeah,
it showed
yeah.
like normal people being Mormons. Scientology did the exact same thing. And they showed people being normal, riding in schools and like camera shots on them where it like goes in and out of focus real quick and it shows them sort of like learning things about themselves. And then it goes, Scientology. A big, like nice, expensive graphic at the end of it with a paid for by the Church of Scientology.
I don't understand Scientology. I know that's not unusual, but I like really don't get it.
It's
Where do they get their money?
it's from
They're all
celebrities.
famous.
Oh, okay.
It also
Yeah.
costs money to like level. I thought it cost
Level
money
up?
to
But
level
is
up
it-
in the game.
Is it so they make most of the money off of the normal people members?
Yes.
Who want to be around, the Kirstie Alleys of the world.
Sure,
Any Cheers star.
I would agree. Jason nodded yes that it costs money to level up because our swarthy producer is a Scientologist.
They got to pay
He's
for
a
that
normal
boat.
person.
You dated a Scientologist?
Very
briefly.
briefly.
Did she give you a litmus test?
Could she control fire?
What's the thing
She can
called?
control fire.
Is she a wizard?
Yeah,
What's the e-meter called? A litmus of a succession
Stress?
test?
The stress test.
Yes.
Test.
that's so weird. Oh god, I can't believe they were. I feel like there should be some kind of thing where you can't have any kind of religious like commercials on during the Super Bowl. I feel like that's weird and wrong.
Scientology falls under this real legal gray area.
Separation between church and insanity. So that's kind of a bummer. The other weird thing is like I always do like the Super Bowl commercials in general, but I always found it strange that everyone's excited to be like,
Yeah.
ooh, commercials. Like I find it so strange. Although I am a commercial actor, and please cast me in any of those Super Bowl commercials.
Buy Starburst.
Buy Starburst,
Yeah.
please.
And go get a New York lottery ticket.
Go get a New York lottery ticket. I'm okay.
Use your winnings on Starburst.
Yeah.
Because you get part of the profits, right? That's how commercial.
Oh yeah,
acting
that's how it works.
Andy gets a nickel out of every Starburst.
I wish I only get Starburst. They send me
They only
one
pay-
Starburst. They give me one Starburst.
Only yellow Starburst.
Only yellow
Only
too.
the yellow ones.
Awful.
Ew.
Yeah. The thing is, that's the one I don't like. And they
The
just-
only one.
Yeah. But
Why did you sign that?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
I was
obviously.
drunk.
You're
I don't
drunk
know.
when you go to these meetings.
I'm drunk pretty much all the time.
So, Andy, I want to make a challenge to you right now.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Do you want to get into football this next season with me?
Like,
I know
you wanna
the
get
start
answer,
a
I think.
football team?
Do you want to?
I
Yeah.
know
Do you
the
want to
answer,
play
too.
football with me this season?
One-on-one football.
One-on-one.
I
this
think
season.
there was a thing when I was in college because all my friends were super into football and they were like, well, I know what we'll do, Andy. We'll give you a team to like. And the team they gave me to like was the Colts.
Oh
Because they were like, at the time, they were kind of like doing okay.
no, not until they got luck.
And that was it. But if you want me to, I will. I don't know. I feel like I'm too far behind to understand the game well enough.
No.
You
Really?
could,
You
but
got
I
it,
don't know
man.
if you want to.
Yeah, come on. I'm going to set up a fantasy football league.
Oh, that's going to be complicated. Just get him to watch it.
Is there-
Andy,
wait,
Andy,
wait.
I can already tell you that Andy's not going to be able
Is
to
there
do that.
math involved in the
yes.
fantasy?
Oh
No,
yeah, you get to do.
forget
It's like you
forget
get to
it.
do 3 hours of math problems every Sunday. It's awesome.
Look,
Okay,
there's a
so
thing-
let's shake
like-
hands right now that we're gonna do this.
Okay.
They didn't totally really do
We're
it.
just
That
shook
was
hands.
a Muppet handshake.
That was a Muppet hand. I don't even want to do Sudoku, and I know that
That's not even what it's called.
Sudoku.
Sudoku.
I don't like to do Sudoku because I'm afraid it involves math, but it doesn't at all. And
I mean, adding, I guess.
the idea that there's numbers in it, I'm like, I hate
You're just
numbers.
mad about it.
I don't like I'm bad with numbers, money and numbers, and
Talking.
people's faces, people's names,
Current events.
current events. Oh my God!
What are your
Dressing
strengths?
yourself.
I guess commercial acting.
Commercial acting is my only strength, and hosting radio shows where I'm supposed to be ambivalent about the news.
What?
Ambivalent.
Is it? What is it?
Oblivious? Is
Oblivious.
that? I think that's
I'm
what
sorry.
you were
Yeah, I'm
aiming
sorry. I was.
for.
See, words. I'm not good at words.
Andy, you are charming.
You are
Yeah, I
the
know.
best.
You're a charmer.
But we'll be back with more stuff, more news and current events on Get Informed. We'll be right back.